Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Lineage Break, a Grand Archive TCG podcast. My name is Cam. I do host. I'm also here with Steven. Hello, Steven.
Hello, I am Glue.
Steven,
Hello, Cameron.
Steven Glue my self chair.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of a Christopher Walken in there. I don't know what happened. I started spacing my words.
It was very
strangely.
You started it
rhythmic.
Well. You started it very well, and then it just went to shit.
Yeah,
but that's
that's
it's par for the course.
Indicative of the show. I start it's all in my brain. Think of it like it's all like loaded up, and then like the Star Wars opening, it like scrolls away, and I have to remember what my brain wanted to say.
I also want to segue real quick. Par for the course, right?
Yeah,
it's like such a well-used statement.
It's a good one. I use it a lot.
Right.
I don't golf.
Right. That's what was my next point. Like
no,
that is 100% a golf thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just permeated my brain for 20 years, and now it's just stuck in there.
Yeah, but there's lots of like colloquial American things that come from sports, right?
I guess, yeah.
Like home run as a term comes up a lot. Usually not related to baseball.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right.
I'd like to space myself for baseball.
Yeah,
as much as possible.
Not a baseball guy.
Oh God, it's so boring. I thought about baseball and I started yawning.
Sure.
I was literally like, oh God, baseball's on. Let me take a nap.
You know what's not boring, Steven?
Hockey.
The Grand Archive trading card game, which is what we're here to talk about today.
Correct.
Welcome back, everybody. We're back at Dinosaur's Tale. We are woefully unprepared today. As we've told the live stream, and we are telling you now, that we don't have a whole lot of topic to talk about today, so we're just gonna, I got a few things I want to cover. We have some little special announcements before you click away. We have some special announcements today to make that we'll make later on in the show, but a few things to hit on, and we're just we're vibing. We're mid MRC, so we're in that sort of post-launch fun times, but not close enough to next launch to be talking about next launch sort of stuff.
And store champs and regionals haven't started up yet, so
they're coming up soon, man.
They're coming up soon, but this week it's kind of like a lack of topic to talk about.
I don't know if maybe it's just me, or maybe I haven't looked at the schedule close enough. It feels like, and I guess maybe this is because this is our second season with Omnidex being live. It feels like the Store Championship regional season is longer. Feels like they're way more spread out.
Yeah.
Like
I feel like last season was like every week.
Right, yeah, they were like one after another. And we have a couple coming up, but even like Jersey, which is pretty close to us, is not it's in September. Which like feels like it's so far away. September's what? 12 weeks from now or something.
Yeah.
It's like post Chicago. Feels very, very far away. So that hasn't quite hit me yet. I don't know about the Store Championship schedule. I know that we have a couple coming up. Obviously ours is coming up, which is exciting for us, but I don't really have to worry about playing in that one. Yeah.
Store Championships July 7th, and our regional is July 13th.
Yeah, they're coming up. I got to start making the big push, got everybody to show up. We've had a really a much bigger crowd lately, so I'm hopeful for big Store Championships, big regionals. I'm hopeful for big numbers. It's like we've had,
15, 16 people every week.
Yeah, it's like pretty crazy. Yeah, we had 16 last week, and I think it was 18 the week before that.
Right, yeah.
Dude, that Grand Archive game?
Yeah.
Well, people are playing it.
Popping off.
Hey,
who knew RC was so good for the game?
I really, I have to think that it's on the back of the Recollection decks, and I think that anecdotally that's what people have told us. And I know that, like Poro said that his locals doubled after the Recollection decks came out. So I think it really must be that. But I don't know, it doesn't...
Well, I mean, it was such a good product for beginners, like, it makes sense.
But the weird part to me is, right, walk with me, Steven, is that the people that have come in... Oh?
What? You said walk with me. I was making them walk.
They're walking. I don't know what happened. The buzzing stopped. Just nobody move.
Do I have to lean like this the whole time?
Yep, whole time. So it must be that one. Anyway, sorry, off track. Something that I find very strange about the MRC like boom is that, sure, the recollection decks were part of it, of course, but it's not like people came in knowing about them. They're not like, oh, I heard about these new recollection decks, I'm gonna go try Grand Archive. It's like people that were interested in Grand Archive more so than usual, that I happen to be able to be like, hey, you should buy this recollection deck. It's a great starting point. But that like intrinsic interest in the game sort of also was elevated, I think, from MRC. I'm not sure if it was just people had heard about the new set coming out. I really don't know how much Worlds touched people, because it was right around that time too. I don't know if that like hit the social medias.
Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of people come in because like every time we're playing, right? Every Friday, people come in and like, oh, what are they playing? And someone's like, oh, that's Grand Archive.
Right.
And then they like hover around and watch. Like I think that also does a lot for it.
It's a neat game. I think it's been around long enough. Maybe that's it too.
Yeah.
Like set 4, set 5 is sort of the time where we, as Grand Archive players, are pretty confident that the game's going to be around for the long haul. And maybe that messaging has come across to the public as well. Like trading card people have heard about it long enough that they're like, oh, well, I guess this game's not going to get up and die, right?
Right.
Which is always a risk with those Kickstarter games, which obviously Grand Archive feels like so far removed from now, but that is our humble beginnings, right? So
yeah, I think it's and I also think that the stabilization of the market, for the most part, is also like a good thing for the game. Like I know a lot of people are like complaining that like the staple cards are so expensive, but at the end of the day, like that's what it is, right? It's a card game. All card games are like that.
Yeah, I mean it's hit or miss. It's either one thing or the other. It's really hard, and I don't know any card game that has existed in their like golden time period for more than a set or two. Where I was talking to a local this week about Flesh and Blood, and Flesh and Blood's at the point where that game is big enough that the print runs are big, and you can just like buy product. It's not really an issue to buy the new product. We get a ton. I still have a ton of the new set that came out like a couple weeks ago. But what that means is when you open product, which sometimes people want to do because it's a fun experience, you open product for something like Flesh and Blood. By and large, you spend your like $80 on a box. You're like probably not going to make your money back unless you hit one of these like, you know, big chase cards, which has sort of always been the TCG way, right? That's how Magic has been forever. You know, anything that is big enough to garner a big audience, it's really hard to like spend an amount of money and then open more than that amount of money in cards, because that's just how fucking economics work, right? But Grand Archive is still in that spot where if you do buy a Grand Archive box, especially something like MRC, you're probably going to be positive monetarily. But that's only because product is so hard to get, right? And so, you know, this was somebody that plays Grand Archives like complaining about how, you know, the opening experience feels worse for something that's not GA. But it's really hard to strike that balance. So we're still in that area where GA product, sure, it's worth a lot of money, but it's also pretty hard to get a hold of. And eventually, I don't want to burst anybody's bubble, but as Grand Archive grows, they're going to have to grow the print run, and then that will eventually become the case where product will be way more available, but you won't be able to open your $70 Academy guides or whatever.
They're like 100 right now.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So nonsensical.
Yeah, I really kind of wanted to try out Slime Sylvie, and I can't because I don't have Academy guides.
Yeah. So we'll get there. I think it is healthy, though, for the cards to be worth money, because it means, as far as onboarding goes, anybody that finds product, anybody that has the opportunity to jump into the game, is usually rewarded for doing so.
Right.
Like I sold our last recollection deck last week, last one in the building, and he opened his 3 packs, and in one of his packs he opened a non-foil, but opened a Shadow's Claw, which is a $70 card. And I was like, hey dude, that card's like $70, and he was psyched, right? Because he spent $50 on the deck, got the whole deck, opened a $70 card. It's great. The issue being, I'm out of recollection decks. So we've hit this like big spike when MRC had come out, but now and I'm curious, chat, comments, whatever, let us know if this is going to be a similar situation at your local scene. That I feel like we're going to hit a bit of a cap for the next month or two until A and B comes out, because now most people are out of product. You can't really walk into a store. Even us, we're so very Grand Archive forward, and we do so much, Grand Archive stuff here at the store. But like, you walk into my store and I can't sell you any product, right? You're like, oh, I want to play GA, and I say, cool. I will do my best to get you, bulk commons and rares and stuff, but I can't sell you a goddamn booster pack, right? So we'll see. Maybe we're in a bit of a holding pattern. Yeah, somebody in chat says the Tristan Recollection deck's like over $100 now, which is ridiculous.
Yeah,
but it's the way it goes, right?
Right. It's like, oh man, maybe I should have just bought a couple and sat on them.
Right. But yeah, like I said, so it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, like I don't like doing that kind of stuff though. Like,
oh no,
even if it's like financially beneficial, but it just feels bad.
No, I'm not trying to make a profit, especially on sealed product. But the inverse is FTC, right? And that's not what we want.
Right.
It was so catastrophic for the game. So it's better this way, and that's sort of what you have to tell yourself. It's better this way, but we are hopeful that over time it'll get better. And I think every set it does get better.
Yeah.
Like MRC, we had way more availability, and the recollection decks were great, and we didn't sell out of literally everything on day one, just most of it. And so I think as time goes on, it'll get a little bit better, but I wonder if that'll bring prices down as well. We're also sort of waiting on ALC Alter, which God knows when it's coming out. They haven't even really talked about it, but I think that'll be great too for cards like Academy Guide being God knows how much money right now.
Yeah.
Staples, it's always the way it goes.
Yep.
You want your cards to be worth something though. So
yeah, I just want my foil Nico.
True. CSR Nico.
I don't even need the CSR. I just want the foils at this point.
Doing? Well, hey,
what am I doing? I'm doing the thing where like I don't have enough money to warrant having CSRs in my collection.
That's just reasonable, but you can't be doing anything reasonable. You have to be unreasonable. Always unreasonable.
If I was unreasonable, Cam, I wouldn't be playing this game.
That doesn't make any sense. All right. Well, what you can do if you want to get product for Grand Archives, go show up to your locals. You always get those sweet event packs. Mm-hmm. Great way to get SRs. I opened an Academy Guide a couple weeks ago from one of our
I opened my Force Sadie.
Nice. She's like $50 right now. So just like go show up to your locals. That's what I tell people, and that does go a long way. Where people are like, oh, I can't get product, and I'm like, well, I have a huge collection, and I can help you build something, and you show up to locals, and I have event packs, and you can open staples that way. Just like show up, do the thing. But yeah, we have store championships and regionals coming up. Steve, you decided what you're playing yet? No? Don't have a deck in mind?
Oh my god. He's just memeing me. He knows what I'm playing.
I don't know. What are you playing? You playing Wind, Tristan? You doing the thing?
Of course I'm playing
Wind, Tristan.
That's all I've been playing. Literally all I've been playing.
You're being a little prickly today, Steven. All right? I'm going to need you to, relax. I'm just trying to have a conversation with you.
Cameron, we've had this conversation, though. You know what I'm playing. You're just asking it to make me say it.
I'm asking it because we're on a public forum.
They know what I'm playing too.
Jesus Christ. So, anyways,
Cameron, what are you playing?
I don't know. I'm really between things right now. I have the benefit that I don't have to
actually play.
Think, about what I'm playing at least for a while because I don't know any events that I'm actually able to attend. But I'm in the same spot as always, where anything I want to play, I think is like pretty competitively non-viable, so I'll probably play a cringe good deck instead. I've been playing some Rye lately. I don't think I'm a Rye player, or at least like Arcane Fire Rye player. So it's just I don't know. It feels like playing Storm all over again, and that's a tough one. Feels like the games that you win, the games that you lose, and there's no in between. There's no like, oh, I made some like great decisions this game, which allowed me to win the game that I wasn't going to win. It's like, it feels very white and black.
There's a comment here that says 3-1 Water Rye last night. at Yeti. That seems right up your alley.
That's sweet. I like that. That deck's probably fine. I don't know. I played it a little bit, but it's got a win condition problem, But I'd be curious what they're doing. But yeah, I'm sort of between things. I'll figure something out. I think we have a store championship or two coming up in July, maybe that I'll be going to. I have to check the logs. It's a little bit harder to find store championships. I don't know if there's a great forum to do that. There's the nice premier events tab on Omnidex for regionals and stuff, but there's not a great way to see store championships. You sort of just have to do some scrolling. So I'm not exactly sure what the schedule is yet. Something that is coming up for ye olde Grand Archive is Anime Expos in 2 weeks now. It's 14 days away, and we are getting Supporter Pack 2.
Correct. And unlike what we thought originally, we are in Spoiler Pack 2 spoiler season.
Spoiler Pack 2.
Supporter Pack spoiler season. Yeah. Words.
Yeah, I know that those have been trickling out a little bit.
Yeah.
We've seen a few this week. I don't know if their plan is to reveal everything or not. I think we've seen maybe half of it. Yeah. A few from obviously content creation friends of ours. Go check out their videos. And then obviously the art spoilers that we've gotten over the past few large events. We also got all 4 of the CSRs, which is cool. So we know what all of the chase cards are going to be. And that might be worth talking about a little bit. I think I'm overall pretty positive on the product. The cards in the packs that we've seen, or I guess they're all in the packs, the non-CSR cards that we've seen so far, including the art spoilers that we've seen, I think are great, awesome. I guess we don't know what the art spoiler cards are necessarily, but
we've made a lot of guesses.
But from an art standpoint, I think they really knocked it out of the park. I think we talked about this a little bit a few weeks ago, but comparatively to Supporter Pack 1, which personally didn't really do it for me, I felt like most of the art in SP1 was pretty standard, I guess. Very much cute anime girl version of current card, but it's Swift Recruit is Swift Recruit, right? Where I think a lot of these SP2 cards are featuring important characters and stuff, which I think goes a long way to world building and fleshing out the GA IP, which I think is really cool. So we've been seeing those a bunch. We saw Evasive Maneuvers, Incendiary Shot this week, one of which featuring Diana, the other featuring Polcock. I'm a big fan of where there's smoke, there's Polcock is the text on Evasive Maneuvers, which is really really tough. But I don't want to dwell too much on this card getting reprint, right? But I think they're all pretty good. And the only thing that I will say about the reprints that we've seen so far is I think it's a really good idea to reprint cards like Incendiary Shot and Evasive Maneuvers, both of which are starter deck exclusive to Diana. So I'm hoping, I'd have to take a look at the list, but I'd like to see some of the other starter deck exclusive cards get reprinted as well, because those are actually kind of hard to find.
Yeah.
I personally have a single set of Evasive Maneuvers and Incendiary Shots, and God knows where I put them.
Correct.
So it's nice to be able to get some extra ones. But the thing that I've seen some discourse about is the CSRs that are included in the product. So the 4 CSRs that we have are Carter, Rococo, Freydis, Master Tactician, and Xander, Deft Executor. I think the only one that is a little bit strange, and a lot of people have talked about this, is Freydis's inclusion. I know that people always expect the CSRs, especially for a product like this, to be slam dunk, broken meta cards. And so I know that a lot of people have been doomsaying a little bit about Freydis's inclusion. But you also have to remember that in SP1 we had Nimue and Trisket, right?
My like major complaint though, right, is that these aren't. So like if you look back at the SP1 art, they're very different and very gorgeous.
Right.
These ones just use their actual art.
Yeah, it does feel a little bit strange, and I'm always curious. I'd love to be like the fly on the wall of Weebs of the Shore and know why things happen the way that they did. So we get a gorgeous alternate art of Carter, which looks great. I think that is definitely going to be the chase card. Everyone's very excited for Carter is a very expensive card, and this is not like a real reprint. It's not going to drive down the price of Carter, but it means if you do open the CSR, it's the CSR of an already very expensive card, so it'll assumingly be a very expensive CSR, and it looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then we have Xander, Deft Executor, which to me gets the pass as far as getting an alternate art, because he was basically an alternate art because he was printed in Proxy's Vault and is a sort of a new card in that regard. So, and he's a champion, right? And champions usually don't get different art for their CSRs,
right?
So that one seems very real to me. And then we have Rococo and Freitas. Honestly, obviously, I love the art on these cards. I'm a big fan of Gule's art, and I like Rococo a lot. But it is a little bit strange that they didn't get
alternate
arts, and I wonder why that is. Obviously, art's expensive, so that could be part of it. They could have planned to have alternate art, but they didn't get done in time or whatever. I'm not sure. But it is a little bit odd that these feel sort of like booster pack CSRs. I, for one, am not going to be the Freitas Doomsayer. I think that card's actually super cool.
I love Freitas, and I've said it for forever that I think that card is sick. Like, you just win the game if it gets off, right? Like, if you can protect it for the 3 turns, you win the game.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that card is good, but I do think that card is sick. I do agree that it's very cool, and I like. It's like it very much feels to me like Nimue, right? Where Nimue is that same sort of very cool build around card. And so it's cool to see her get a little bit of support. Like, I understand that people want cards that are in their competitive decks or whatever, but you have to understand that can't always be the case. You do have to give some love to
the casual players.
Yeah, other strategies, right? I hope that Freitas is good at some point. And I think that she is like the sort of card that will age well. She does have a very powerful effect.
Right. Like I was saying, like if you're ranged all the time, you probably just win the game.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of absurd.
Like, you just play your bomber or whatever. And like here's like 7-1 or whatever.
Right.
You're like,
oh yeah, the Umbra one too. Yeah, the 7-1. Yeah. So I think somebody said, I don't remember who it was when I was watching them talk about these, and they were like, "Do you think this is a sign that Weebs thinks Freitas is good and she's going to be good in the future?" I don't necessarily think so. I mean, we can point to poor Nimue and Trisket, which are both also very cool cards, but not seeing a whole lot of competitive play these days. So I don't think that there's like a Freitas deck that we haven't discovered yet, but obviously I hope I'm wrong, but she is cool, so I'm glad to see her. But yeah, a little bit odd to see no alternate arts in the alternate art product.
Right.
It's a little strange to see 2 of them come that way, but like, what am I going to do? I'm not going to be upset if I open a Rococo, right?
Right. She's cute.
Very good. She's cute. I love that art of her. But yeah, exciting stuff. So that's debuting at Anime Expo. It's in 2 weeks. Yeah. We'll have some friends there.
Speaking of Anime Expo, thoughts on the promo?
Yeah, that is definitely true. I almost forgot. Our AX promo is Flame Rune Swordsman. My lord. Is so cute.
She is very cute. And on top of the cute, I want to just give a quick applaud to Belle for writing the cutest flavor text on any card ever.
It is very good. I like.
I'm a big fan of Pouty Anime Girl, and this is very, very fun.
Yeah,
because the fire is really good.
Yeah, that art is so good. Shout out to once again Ghoul. I love the work that they do. It's absolutely gorgeous. So the only problem that I have with this promo, man, I fucking hate that AX stamp, dude. It's so big. so big. And like, I remember feeling the same way about the Imperious Highlander, and then like when I saw it in person, it really isn't that big of a deal. So like, I'm sure I'll ignore it as soon as I have the card in hand, but man, that fucking AX stamp's so big. But I'm really excited. I'm going to look to pick up a playset. This card's super playable. Imperious Highlander was a bit of a stinker, not seeing a whole lot of play, but like Flame Rune Swordsman is nuts. And as a now self-proclaimed mage player, I will have to have a playset of these on hand.
In foil.
Maybe. They're really not that expensive, so like we'll see where they settle. I hope that they settle around where the Imperious Highlanders did, because a friend of ours, Tyler Once in Love, is doing me a favor. He's going to pick up some SP1 or SP2 for me at Anime Expo, and he's going to give me a promo. Just very nice. Thank you, Tyler. Appreciate it. We'll open them on stream. But I didn't want to like bother and be like, I need a playset, to get me the foils or whatever. I'm just gonna like wait until they settle, because the Imperious Highlanders settled really low. Like I think you can buy non-foil Imperious Highlanders for like a couple of dollars, and then I think foils are maybe like $60. So I will like probably pick one up. The only caveat there is that Flame Rune Swordsman is way more playable than Imperious Highlander. So we will see what they settle out at, but I will at least have a playset of non-foils. We'll see if I want to get foils for some magey stuff. But yeah, very excited for that. We will we'll have some hot SP2 action in a couple of weeks. Hopefully, do a little opening for the chat. I don't know exactly how I want to do that yet, but we'll do it. Steven.
Cameron.
How tired I'm, Dad. We have some announcements to make.
Yeah.
That I want to talk about. And this is you guys have to know that this is how we do things here over at Lineage Break. This is not I want to choose my words carefully. There are some parts of these announcements that we've been planning for a while. However, most of the announcements and the thing that we're going to do next week is because I happened to be looking at our YouTube channel at 4 a.m. when I should be asleep, and did some math. So we want to thank all of you, our glorious viewers, for watching the show, watching the stream, supporting us. We really do appreciate it, as always. This week, right now, that you're watching, is Lineage Break episode 49.
Whoa.
Which means that next week, here,
will be our 50th episode.
Will be episode 50 of Lineage Break, which is a pretty big deal. It's a pretty big deal to me.
I don't think... I would have never thought we would have made it this far.
Yeah. There's a lot. And, you know, I don't want to spend the show, like, gushing or whatever. But I've done this before. I think I've said that on shows before. But Lineage Break is now the longest that I've done any sort of podcast, which is awesome. I'm glad. Thank you, Stephen, for being consistent. That's what's important. And you know, we really do appreciate that any of you, all of you, watch the show at all, because that's not what we expect. Especially like, you know, like I said, I've done this once or twice, and it's always with the expectation that nobody watches your show and you do it because you enjoy it.
Correct.
But people watch our show. That really means a lot to us.
Yeah, we made silly internet videos and expected some people to watch it and then be like, whatever. And we were having fun, but the fact that we have such like dedicated fans that come to the show every week and like meeting people in person, it just, you know, it's been surreal for me, and thank you guys a lot. It means a lot to me.
It's very nice and it's humbling, and we really do appreciate your support of the show. So we have some exciting things to do next week. Some like actually exciting things, I hope. Exciting for us, and we hope that means they're exciting for you. So the first thing that we want to announce is next week for our 50th show on Lineage Break. For anyone who does not know, we do shoot the show live. There are some beautiful live viewers as we talk about this. And I think I'm going to try to get this show out earlier in the week so that you can watch this before the live stream that happens. So the live stream for next week's episode will be happening on, I pull up calendar so that we know the date. Will be happening on Friday.
June 28th.
Say February.
I did. Because I'm tired.
Friday, hi Dad, June 28th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be doing a live stream of our show like we normally do. However, the plan next week is instead of the normal show where we shoot the shit and like today have God knows what to talk about, next week we are going to be doing a Q&A show where you submit your questions, topics, whatever, to the show. We will be answering them on stream. My plan is to make a Google form. If you're watching the show once it's come out on YouTube, you can find the link to that in the description below. For all of my live viewers, I will get that to you in a little bit. But so you can submit your questions. We're going to do a Q&A next week. We're going to answer all sorts of questions. We're going to hang out, have a good time with you guys. But you may ask yourself, why do I care what these two idiots say or answer my question? I don't care about asking them questions. They don't matter. And that is true. But if you submit a question via this Google form, we will be doing a giveaway next week on the live stream. Woo! We will be giving away our last, the very last, the only one in existence, Lineage Break playmat that we've stored away. And thanks to one very generous Andy K, we have an extra Merlin deck box to give away as well. Correct. So we will be giving away that playmat and deck box together to one of you beautiful people that submits us a question via that Google form that will exist at a point. So do that. I'll post it all over the place. You guys will see it on your YouTube feed. It'll be in the description down here. You guys will see it on Discord. I will make sure to post that lots and lots and lots of places. So that is the plan. Make sure to tune in for that. So it'll be 12 p.m. June 28th. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be doing a fun little Q&A for Lineage Break number 50. Woo! Giveaways are fun. One other thing that I want to talk about.
Ooh.
And maybe
the more fun one.
The more fun one. More fun for us.
Yeah, it's more fun for us.
And we will maybe have a little tiny clip of that to share with you on the live stream. That is my plan. So hold me to it. I'm now saying it on the internet. You can hold me to making sure that we get that shit done. Something that we want to do at Lineage Break. We are very grateful that you guys watch the show, as we've said a lot. But we want to do more for you. But Steve and I are very busy. It's hard for us to get the time, and obviously your support and selling of the playmats and all that good stuff really does help us find more time and, have the funds to do more stuff for Lineage Break. But we want to be more than this podcast that we do every week. We want to upload some other stuff, and we have some stuff that we're working on behind the scenes, but we do have one thing that we're actually working on that we want to share with you soon. So Steve and I will be doing a little video that I think we will hopefully make into a running series, where we're going to be doing some deck building stipulation stuff. We're going to randomize basic elements, randomize classes, and then randomize deck building stipulations that we've been working on. So we are going to begin shooting that this week, and you guys will hopefully see a little clip from that next Friday, and then, the video will come out some amount of time after that. So that's very exciting for us. We're working on that, but that is a sort of very produced thing that we are working on that is going to take some man hours and lots of editing and stuff. But that is all possible because you guys support us and you bought the playmat, and that helps us be able to afford to buy props and equipment and stuff like that for extra Lineage Break content. So
correct.
Look forward to that. That is our plan for the Lineage Break 50th. I keep wanting to say anniversary.
It kind of is. Right?
It's a 50th episode.
50th episode is kind of like an anniversary.
Use round corner card images. I will. Sounds good. Yeah, we're very excited to do that. We're gonna, brew up some real spicy piles. We have some deck building stipulations, which I think are the most fun part that we're working on. Stuff like Singleton and Spirit of Slime and stuff like that. Those are always the ones that I point to when I tell people examples of what we're going to be doing. We had one very nice silly dar write in the developer's choice, which is pretty good. We'll save that for if we get it, but yeah, it's going to be fun. We're looking forward to doing that, and that's something that I think I would like to do, maybe once a month. It is going to be an involved process for us to put this together. So please appreciate all of the many hours of editing and filming that Steve and I will do to bring this to you. And hopefully it's pretty good. That's our hope. Hopefully it's a good time.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all of our announcements. I think, that's all I got. I'm out of steam.
Yeah, so today has been kind of like a short episode, I think, but we appreciate you guys hanging out with us and being here with us.
It's always that area that we find ourselves in without the newsy news.
Right.
This is maybe a selfish future planning that maybe we can get some fun topics to talk about when we do the Q&A next week that we can use for future episodes like this. If you guys ever have any topics that you want us to talk about when we're in these sort of off weeks, let us know. We try to find the goods when we can, but we want to be up to date.
Yeah,
that's the Lineage Break creed, especially now that we shoot the show live. We want to be up to date, talking about the newsy news, the new stuff that's happening in the Grand Archive world, because we're I don't want to say we're the only ones doing it, but I think we're the only ones doing it.
Doing what?
The podcast every week.
Oh yeah.
And so we got to talk about the new stuff and be on the finger on the pulse, as they say.
Yeah.
I know those Creative Shock guys have been putting out a lot lately too, though. They're back.
It's
back. True.
A Dinosaur Tale?
Hey. Yeah, that's a banger. So I think that's all we have for you this week. Thank you guys for hanging out. We're sorry it was a bit of a short episode today. Steve and I are suffering from heat stroke but we are excited to see you guys next week for the 50th episode. We will make sure to share that link for the questions everywhere. It'll be on Discord. It'll be here in the description at a point. So make sure you go fill out a question and enter yourself in for that giveaway. You guys going to Chicago? We are indeed. We'll see you in Chicago. That is the plan. It's coming up, man. Sneaking up on us. All right. Thank you guys for watching. We will see you next week.
Have a good one, guys.
Woo! Woo!